Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Manic Miners. Now, I am feeling a tad perturbed. Not because I'm frightfully out of practice and quite rubbish at life, but because I have a funny feeling that the last time we left this off, we had a sort of slime-related situation to deal with. What did we do last time? We did waterworks, we did lava laughter, we done split down the middle, which leaves...
Rock hard. Don't panic.
I think I might panic. No, it had nothing to do with slugs. I must have been thinking of something else completely different. This has to do with lava, which is somehow worse because I can't just get a mining laser and shoot lava in the face. And, to follow up from possibly the last video, possibly the one before that, apparently you can control multiple lasers at the same time. Which I've only just remembered someone told me how to do that, and I've forgotten to look up and reread the comment that they kindly wrote in order to tell me how to do that. But never mind, we might not involve any slugs this time around, although...
Rock hard.
Did sometimes, at least in the original game, involve slimy slugs. Often it didn't, but then sometimes randomly it did. So I wouldn't be surprised if Baz has put in a few slimy situations for us to deal with in that level. What should we do? Why don't we kick ourselves in at the deep end and get ourselves burned to bits?
Some of our rock raiders have been trapped by recent cave-ins and molten magma is threatening to engulf them. We cannot risk teleporting them out. Another malfunction could place them in even greater danger. Guide them back to the safety of Rock Raiders HQ. Once you've got them back safely, continue the mining operation and collect 20 energy crystals.
Or 100 in this case. Now, I wish to pose a hypothetical to you, right? A sort of brain exercise, if you like, right? Suppose that you and 4 of your small plastic compadres are standing in a corridor and there's a load of lava eroding behind you and is about to burn your bottom. If you had the ability to be teleported out of there, what greater danger could you be put into, right? Other than teleporting directly into the stomach of a lava monster. But never mind, let's get the hell on with this. Oh, gosh. Run, my small friends. Run. I really ought to assign you to a group. And then I could just press that button and you'd go. But, I don't actually... Oh, gosh. I don't guess you guys are geologists, are you? No, of course you aren't. Which way should we go? Probably not this way, because this is the way we went in the original layout of the... Oh, they've all gone. Well, isn't that just bully of them? This is the direction that you go in the original formation of this map, so I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is the wrong way to go. But I'm going to try all the same, and we're going to see what happens, and what's probably going to happen is that we're all going to die. But other than that, everything's going to go just swimmingly. Particularly, we're going to be swimming in lava and stomach acid. If you two would care to run away very bloody quickly, that would be much appreciated. Thank you very much. Let's go this way. Don't mind that, that was the cat falling off the sideboard. Not entirely sure why she decided to do that, but that's the thing that she's decided to do with her afternoon. It's no weirder than the thing I've decided to do. Is it just me, or is this layout surprisingly similar to the, than the standard one? I am suspicious. I do notice the shortcut in here, which, I am ashamed to say. I only discovered the shortcut in Manic Miners rather than in the original game. Although saying that, I've actually not gone back to replay Don't Panic in the original game in order to see if the shortcut's really there. So maybe it's just R. Probably should have left that behind, to be honest with you, because there ain't a whole heckin' lot I can do with it. Yeah, this seems identical, to be quite frank. And oddly, they're all leaving the crystal alone, unless it's that one that's going to go for it. Oh goodness. These highly are... Yes, this is a problem. Could you run the other way, please? If that's not too much to ask, do you think it might be possible for you to... Oh. Okay. That's not what I expected to happen. Well, I did my best. Yes, indeed. Right. Okay. We've got an air situation to deal with. Don't think we had to deal with that in the past. Alright. What I was expecting to happen is... Maybe we shouldn't drill that, actually. I've just realised these guys are and by these guys I mean this guy here, are undoubtedly going to come over here and attempt to destroy this base, so I should probably engage in a wee bit of violence. And by violence, I mean self-defense. Unless he's only coming in order to get the crystal that was here. But probably not, judging by the fact that he's still on his merry way. And he's dead. Oh, golly! He brought some crystals for us. How frightfully good of him. I cannot remember if that was a thing in the original game or not. Whether, we could probably put a power station there, rot. And if we drill out some of this stuff, we can probably put a tool storey here. And by a tool store, I mean the teleport packs. I'm constantly muddling those two up because I'm a muppet. But other than that, everything's going brilliantly. Yes. Yeah, I can't remember if monsters dropped crystals that they'd eaten before. I have a feeling that they do. Because that seems like a vaguely familiar idea, although a very old one. Perhaps I'm just so rubbish at this game that in situations where monsters were eating my crystals, they never got murdered afterwards. Never mind, we've only got 10 minutes to get ourselves some air. So the whole heckin' lot of you should probably stop dropping the ore in the lava, because that isn't going to help the situation. Also, please don't fall down this precipice and get yourself burnt to a small crisp. Don't really know what melted Lego looks like, but I don't really want to find out, particularly when it's screaming in agony. Right, let's get some of this stuff clear. Let's also turn these back on so I know what the hell folks is doing. Okay, so we need to upgrade this first. I'm completely out of my rhythm, but never mind. That will undoubtedly happen. I'm wondering if I should turn the priority for collecting crystals off, actually, because that is going to slow us down quite severely. Yeah, I'm going to turn that off for the minute. I'm going to try not to reveal too many more crystals where possible, where feasible, because I feel like that's just going to attract more monsters, and that's not exactly what I need in my life. But thus far, this formation of the level seems identical to the oh, that's just too ruddy. It's just too much. It's just too much, and I can't deal with it. Never mind. Let's put it here instead, I suppose. Then we can still put our power station there. Yeah, the layout seems the same. I was expecting at the very least a completely different path. I do see that some of the walls and things are different. Like, I could swear this was never here before, and obviously the little the sneaky pathway is it seems to have been removed. But other than that, things seem much the same. So I am suspicious. The fact that we need 100 crystals suggests there's a lot more to do here than previously. What would probably be wise is that I actually beam these 5 gentlemen up and then bring down 5 proper people who have greater training and such like. But I reckon that, especially since they just run away from a load of monsters and a load of lava, I imagine they are a little tuckered and wouldn't mind going straight back to the LMS Explorer. But no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to work them down to the bone, if indeed Lego people do have bones. So, because we've got all the extra crystals and the extra vehicles and such like, we could probably get something like a tunnel transport, and then put something like a large mobile laser cutter in it to mine these walls out. Because I wouldn't then be surprised if there's stuff in here, for example, that we could then get access to. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the sort of mischievous thing that Baz has in mind. Let me see if I can find anywhere that my support station would go. It'll go there, why don't we put it there? Probably because if we put it there, we seem to be compelled to say that in a rather silly voice, which I'm sure irritates everybody within 17 earshots of me. So we need some more ore, and we don't have a lot of it. Let's mine this out. That will give us a little bit more ore closer to home. Hopefully none of it will fall in the lava. There we go. This is certainly what would have led to the secret passageway. Maybe the secret passageway is still here, you just can't access it from this end. That seems plausible as well. Okay, how much more ore do we need? I reckon that's going to be the last piece. Then we can upgrade this. whoop-de-doodle, and we can pop it. Let's pop it there actually, because I feel that's a little bit more central. Although putting it over here next to all of this, all these walls seems a little stupid and dangerous. But the fact that no more monsters are spawned suggests there are no spawning points here, which is good. Although now that I think about this a little bit more, given that they're rock monsters or ice monsters or whatever, does that mean that any lump of rock could converge and become a monster? Is that what happens when they spawn from the rock? They're not like behind it and they're breaking their way through. Is it that some of the rock is coming together to form a sentient and frightfully hungry being that then steps out in order to satiate its bloodlust? And its crystal lust, for that matter. Is that what happens? Because if so, that's a bit worrisome. But if that were the case, wouldn't the lava monsters then spawn out of the lava? And now that I say that, I have in my mind an image of a lava monster rising from lava like a phoenix from the ashes, and frankly, that's a little bit terrifying, because lava is enough of a pain in the bum as it is, and having monsters rising out of it is somehow even worse, and I didn't think lava could get any worse, but here we are. Okay, that's the oxygen situation sorted out, so isn't that just wonderful? Okay, let's bring down some more people, because honestly, who can be bothered to wait for the air to resupply? Here we are with all of our small friends. So what we're going to do, we're going to have a look at the old map once I get the buttons the right way around and see what's going on. Yet, I wish you to reconnoiter. Let's see what's going on over here. Ooh.
Sounds good.
Ooh. I see something burgundy, and I say ooh, like a grandpa impressed that his grandchildren have remembered to buy the cranberry sauce that he likes at Thanksgiving, or whatever the hell it is. I don't know, don't eat cranberry. I'm not that old. Alright, let's bust our way through some more here. All the way along here, please. We'll upgrade this as well. Let's break our way through here as well so we can get access to these crystals. In fact, actually, we've got quite a lot of crystals. Nothing to worry about in that department. What I might do, actually, just for the moment, if you don't mind, could everybody go and get a gun, please? Slightly strange and unbecoming phrase for a British person to say, but if everybody could become frightfully militaristic, I think that would improve our situation quite severely. Just in case. I'll tell you what I was thinking as we were doing this, and I was seeing that the pathway seemed suspiciously similar. I was thinking that we'd get here, like right to this wall, and then it would be solid rock, except the way to escape would have been cut off by the lava that was chasing us. That's what I was expecting Baz to do. I was not expecting him to be kind enough to actually let me through here. I was expecting to die, and then have to redo the level, going a different way and following a different path in order to escape, or to reach home base, as it were, by which I do not mean the overpriced furniture dealership. Let's put that away. Yes. So I'm a little bit illiterate with the buttons. I am a little bit surprised that this has gone quite as smoothly and quite as according to plan as everything has. But never mind any of that for the time being. This area of land looks relatively flat. Yes, this is sort of flat enough. Let's put our super teleport here, I reckon, and then we can start bringing in some bigger vehicles. Not really sure how we're going to do this. Ooh, have had a thought. Brain has finally kicked into gear. It's only 6:30 in the evening. No, I've had a thought. What we could do is we could get the large mobile laser cutter and give it the lava walking upgrade. Because if we do that, we will be able to take it across here and we can just shoot whatever the hell we fancy. And wouldn't that be lovely? I would like to go through here, but I'm a little bit hesitant to go through there in case it's dangerous. The other advantage of having a large mobile laser gun to hand would be, of course, that I can use it as a defense as well. So if any monsters decide to spawn, I can just shoot them in the face. So that would be good. Ooh. So there were 4 in the seam, and there were 3 in the underlying rock. That's quite generous. Mind you, if we're going to get 100 crystals, we're going to need, well, 100 crystals, but also quite a few to put it in far less integer-related terms. Right, are we done here? I reckon we are. Yes. Do I have enough to bring this down immediately? I don't think so, because I think I need to upgrade this, don't I? Yes, I do. Let me do that first. There we go. And now we will click the wrong button, because that's cool. And then we will put Axel in here. Yes. And he was saying it with that level of mania doesn't exactly fill me with confidence that I made the right decision of putting you in here. But never mind. Let's get the L on there, shall we? Let's see what's through here. Quite a few crystals. Interesting. I'm wondering if there's perhaps a way to sort of snake around the outside of this map, perhaps. Or am I jumping like a granite grinder to conclusions? I don't know the answer to that question. What I do know is that we can get ourselves an upgrade because we've got just enough ore. So I'd like to upgrade pretty much everything else, but I'm going to upgrade... Oh, that's only 10. Oh, the others are 20. But that's 10, despite the fact that that's probably the most valuable thing, because these are just improvements on a statistic versus this is a whole new ability. Interesting. Maybe it's made cheaper just so that you can access it earlier if it's necessary in a level like, I don't know, Lake of Fire or something. I'm really not looking forward to doing Lake of Fire. Where should we go with? Stronger laser or bigger engine? Let's go for stronger laser. I can't really say that I'm a fan of the colour, right? I don't know what it is. There's just something slightly off about the pale grey. Maybe it's just slightly too shiny or something. Like compared to the other light grey. See, this is quite a matte grey versus this seems a little bit glossy, a little bit too glossy for my taste. I don't know. I don't know what I'm yammering on about. Let's go over here, because we should obviously use this to destroy stuff that the rock raiders themselves can access. So we'll leave them to get all of those crystals for the time being. You know what I should do? I should turn that back on. It may not be my priority to collect crystals, but it certainly is the priority of the belly of the beast. What else have we got in here? Nothing. Oh, well, that got eaten. Never mind. Is that going to get eaten? No, seemingly not. Okay, we've nearly got enough ore in order to do another upgrade. Unfortunately, no one's collecting ore, apart from me, because great minds think alike. Maybe I should have turned collecting crystals on like 5 seconds later. Never mind. At least this will give it a greater engine capacity, even though I don't know if I'm going to see the engine in this thing. It's got a pointy bottom now, and everybody knows if you have a pointy bottom, that means you move at extremely high paces. Yes, I'm sure that's how the Olympic marathon runners go. Right, let's break our way through here and see what we find. Not much. Can somebody grab that? Who are you? Probably nobody. Yes, you are. Excellent. Or perhaps no, you're not, would be a better way of phrasing that. Okay. This might give us a way to break through here. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to wander around and break a few things with this laser cutter, and then I'll allow the rock raiders in order to follow in my wake and pick up bits and pieces as we go. Is there anything in this direction? Probably not, but when Jet gets a little bit closer we will be able to say for certain. Is anything behind that wall? I wouldn't know, because Jet didn't get quite a little bit closer enough. But never mind, I suppose I'll just drive over there and do it myself. If you want a job done right, do it yourself. Sorry, there's There's a button here. What does this do? Cycle vehicles. Oh, there's a little button here just to the right of the repair vehicle button, which you can't see because my big flabbering pie hole's in the way. Soz about that. Yes, a little yellow button, like a little yellow stud, that says cycle vehicles on it. Presumably because I've only got one vehicle, it's not cycling, but presumably if I had multiple ones, it would switch through them. That's interesting. I have no idea when that got implemented. I've never seen that before, which either means that it was added in recently. However, I don't think well, yes, indeed, well. Fiddlesticks. Never mind. Moving on. Oopsie. Oh, there is something behind here. I genuinely didn't think there would be. Okay, right, never mind. Never mind. Yes, as I was going last time, before I was so rudely interrupted by the raucous lava, I don't think that I've updated this game since... Have I not updated it since 1.0, or have I not updated it since the one that came after 1.0? I don't know, but I haven't updated it in a while, because the developer's been on well-earned hiatus to enjoy a bit of downtime after reaching 1.0. So, okay, good. That's good. That means we don't have to get a ton of transport down in order to start moving some bits around, which is good. Yeah, they've now got access to all of this again. Isn't that just excellent? It's a heck of a long walk, which I'm sure they're not going to appreciate, but never mind. Never mind. They will end up with sore feet, but at least their feet won't be little pieces of cinder. So I'm sure they will count their blessings. So let's see what we've got over here. It probably would be wise to bring down a tunnel transport, actually, just for the sake of expediency. And if a monster does appear, then it's going to be a pain in the bottom if we don't have one. Where's Jet? Probably 50 miles away. Nope, there she is. We've been through this again, and the joke is starting to wear a little thin, so I shan't make it again. Never mind. Okay, I could clearly break my way through there, but there's not a lot of value in going all the way. There's a lot of value in going all the way around to do that now. Oh dear, ask and thou shalt receive. Okay, never mind none of that rubbish. There might be some stuff in here, but I'd rather look at something a little bit more exciting. If that isn't too youthful of me to be so obsessed with instant gratification, you'll pardon me if I wish to chase something a little bit more exciting. Huh. I also feel like this blob here on the map is bigger than it used to be. I feel like it used to be the same size as a person before, versus now it's a little bit bigger. Which, again, I feel like is a new thing that I haven't seen before, which perhaps just implies that I've been very stupid and not noticed it. It wouldn't surprise me. And by this point, it really shouldn't surprise you either. How many crystals have we already got? I think, well, we've got 23 plus the 10 in the tunnel transport. It's 33 plus however many's in this, which is 8, I think. Is it? Yes, indeed, it is 8. So that's 41. My giddy aunt, we're not even halfway there yet. My word. My goodness me. Where to? Oh yeah, you can't go through that, can you? Where to next? I just have the strangest feeling that we should be able to go in here. Otherwise, why would this be elevated so much? Why would the terrain be so pleasingly plump? I don't know. I don't have the answer to this question. But perhaps if we go a-wandering, we will... well, this doesn't go anywhere. But we might be able to break through here. Yes. Yes, indeed. I reckon with a little bit of sneakiness and a lot of zappiness, we might just find a way through. Yes, indeed. Alright, let me break a little bit more of this so that we can make our way through. There we go. I'll tell you what I should do, actually. I should set this to track. Thank you, that's better. And not track the floor. I know where the floor is. The floor is in the same place it's always been. Actually, no, this doesn't go where I want to go, does it? I need to find the weak spot, which I reckon is through here. Indeed. It's a very narrow passageway. Oh, goodness, some water! And a lot of energy crystals here, by the look of it. I have a horrid feeling that a huge volume of monsters is going to spawn at the moment. So I should probably remove a few walls that they could spawn out of in order to reduce the old likelihood. Well, this would be efficient. We can get rid of 6 pieces with this. Yes, we could if we'd ever get on with it. Oh, that's because that's 8 pieces wide, not 6. Sorry. Ow! Sorry, Jet. Sorry, a bit of friendly fire there. My apologies. And the tunnel transport is the only way we're going to get any of this taken home, so that's going to slow things down as well. However, we may be able to break a shortcut through the back end of that cavern if we shoot all the way across. But probably not. No, probably not. Can I shoot over here without draining too many crystals? Yeah, I reckon I can. Let me just see what destroying this piece would do. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that would work. And then if I get rid of this, and then I come over here and destroy this. That piece that's gone down there in the crevice. Oh, that's better. That piece that nearly went down there in the crevice would have been a massive pain in my bottom, but never mind. Let me. Oh well, there we are. I mean, that gets rid of the problem. It does create another problem, however. 24 little problems, but we won't worry about any of that. Oh. You know what that little audio cue has just made me realise? That we played through the entirety of both the European and the American versions of the PS1 version of LEGO Rock Raiders, and we never saw a large spider. Which I'm not complaining about, because I have an awful attack of arachnophobia every time I see a spider of any significant size. But, why are they just called small spiders then? Why aren't they just called spiders? Perhaps there was an idea to make a large spider, but it just got sort of cut out of the game, rather than appearing in the, or only appearing, I should say, in the PlayStation version. I don't know the answers to these questions. I am too stupid. But never mind. Okay, well that's a nice shortcut, so that makes life a little easier. What I'm quite interested in, however, is seeing what this will lead us to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this to mine out a few bits and pieces here and there, and I'm going to send this lot over here to drill through here, because I want to see where this goes, and whether indeed this comes out in the same place, or, as I predict it will just lead us over here. Excuse me, gentlemen, if it's not too much of an imposition, could you kindly get on with what I told you to do? Let's draw that piece as well. So it looks like there are a few crystals hither and thither. Oh, there we are. The queuing's working quite well, actually. I was afraid that if I just queued up pieces of rock behind it, it would, Oh, golly. Where are you going? Yeah, that's exactly what I was already worried about. Yeah, I'll leave you to take those crystals back. Why not? Saves the tunnel transport doing. Yes, I was afraid by just queuing the things it would just bring other people in to do that job rather than letting the folks nearest to it do it, because it does slightly irritate me that the I don't know what you'd call it. It's not pathfinding, is it? It's how the game decides which person should do which job. It seems to do it simply on a basis of whoever becomes available first, who is capable of doing the job, does it. Versus it would be more efficient sometimes to it'd be more efficient sometimes to have somebody else do it who is not available as quickly, but will have a shorter distance of time to get there. Perhaps if it went through some calculation of whoever is ready first, and then add on the amount of time it will take them to traverse the distance to get there. but I imagine that would be a bit more intensive and quite difficult to program, and honestly nobody can be bothered with any of that when we could be putting our efforts towards much more useful and enjoyable bits and bobs and whatnots. So there's just a random thought for all of you random thought enthusiasts over there. I seem to have fallen over and broken my back. As if I didn't despise you little beasts enough. Mikey, why do they need frickin' mandibles? Why does anything in the world need frickin' mandibles? Nothing needs frickin' mandibles. They're not necessary. I don't care what all of you biologists out there think. Nothing in the world needs mandibles. Okay, is there anything on the other side of this or not? Yes, there is. More than I expected there to be. Yeah, it's just sort of generally send it off to shoot random things, I think. I don't think there's anywhere else that's going to lead us particularly to more caverns or more crystals, so I think we'll just break our way through random bits and pieces. Let me queue up 1 or 2 more bits and pieces, break through there as well. Not you silly Billy. What we could do actually is bring you in from the other side and sort of do it like the Channel Tunnel and both come together and sort of kiss in the middle. I'm sure that would be lovely. Yes, because I spy something green or something yellow, depending on which side of the debate you sit on with regard to what colour a tennis ball is. Right, let's break our way through all of this. There we go. Yeah, because look, there's definitely some hard rock here that's going to need to be sorted out. So I'm going to set you to. I am going to put you in detention if you don't do what you're supposed to do, you mischievous little maniac. Hello, Bob. Sorry, the cat is being grumpy, as per the usual. Would you don't walk all the way around there, you dingbat. Thank you. Wasn't necessary, but you did it anyway. I actually don't think we're going to be able to access those seams from this side. We definitely aren't. We could break through into this cavern from the other side, because that's hard rock, and then that piece would fall away. But that doesn't help us very much now. So what precisely between here and eternity are we going to do? There must be another way through. Perhaps here. Yes. Perhaps. Probably not, but I giddy aunt. But perhaps. Yeah, let's try breaking our way through here. Because other than that, I'm a little stumped. That's definitely a yes. That's definitely a recharge seam, isn't it? Yes. Just want to make sure I wasn't being stupid like usual. Okay. So yeah. So So you could use the shortcut. In fact, actually using the shortcut would be really sensible here because the lava doesn't erode here. So if you can get through here... If getting through here doesn't require going through any hard rock, and I don't think that it did, but I'm not 100% certain, so don't quote me on that. But if you don't need to get through any hard rock in order to get here, or if there's enough loose rock and dirt that you could make a tool store, which I'm trying to have a think and a talk here, would you mind not interrupting me so much? If there was enough ore that you could put down a tool store and then upgrade it to get some dynamite, you could then slowly work your way through here, which would be much safer and wouldn't involve any monsters, and would allow you to get over here without worrying. Aha! Yes, this seems promising. Yes, indeed. Right. Small mischievous shadow that she is. Summer as well, so she started molting again, which is marvellous, which explains why I'm finding tiny little tumbleweeds of fluff everywhere, but we won't worry about any of that. Okay, yes, here we go, because I reckon this will be enough to fill our quota, although if we beamed up everything that we had, we'd probably find enough to fill our quota anyway, but that's cheating! Should be able to do it without doing that. So yeah, if we get through here, we should find these last few seams. Perfect. And then I will quickly just bust this down so that we've got a bit of a shortcut for the old tunnel transport. There we go. Find a couple more crystals into the bargain. Very welcome. And then if we just pop these ones. There we go. And that one as well. Boop. Marvellous. and then the tunnel transport can come and collect these, and then I reckon we might as well be about done, because I don't think we're going to be able to get any further. I don't think there's any other sort of secret places or secret things that we could look at, or any other sneaky places that we could go. I don't reckon so. No, I reckon we've done about everything. Let's have a little look at the map. There we are. Isn't that cute? I wonder if anyone's done like a custom map where they've done it so that the image, when you zoom out on the map, is a sort of pixel art portrait of something. That would be sort of cute. You'd be quite limited in terms of what colours you have to work with, of course, but that could be an interesting little challenge, perhaps. See what sort of things people could come up with. Right, I don't really know how interesting it's going to be for you to sort of sit there and just watch this happen. So why don't we make it frightfully less efficient by having me do it instead? Gideon, you know, see how Jet is frightened knowing that I'm in control of this situation. Oh my Gideon. Oh my Gideons. Right, let's pick up some. I told you this wouldn't be efficient. No, Gideon. See this is why people don't like micromanaging, Phil. Muppet. Okay, right, there we are. I don't know why vehicles do this at the moment. I feel like they used to do this, and then they stopped doing it, and then some of them only did it when you went over water, and now more of them seem to do it. I don't know. I don't have answers to these questions. But we only need like 2 more sets, and then we'll be done. Although at the same time, it seems slightly criminal to leave them behind. Alright, tell you what, we'll have a quick jump cut until these are all collected up, just so that we're not leaving any behind. Although I'm sure there'll be a few more in the walls somewhere that we could collect. But actually, no, let's not have a jump cut. Let's have me ramble on about something boring instead. That sounds far more amusing. Yes, I am surprised by this level. I like that Baz has used up more of the map in terms of like making use of this, and has taken advantage of the introduction of the tunnel transport and the large mobile laser scaler being able to drive over lava by allowing you to explore the rest of the map, which is nice, because other than that it did feel a little bit like in this level that you could use this little area and you could use this little area, but the rest of it you just sort of ran past and then you never looked at again. So I feel like it's a better use of the real estate, although I must confess I was expecting Baz to sort of redesign the level per se in order to give you a different pathway to follow. That's why I was more nervous about doing this than perhaps I should have been. Is that the last crystals? No, apparently there's one more somewhere. Where? There. Goodness only, and there. Naturally. You know, the other day, and by the other day I mean several months ago, because that's just how the schedule looks at the moment, I showed you somebody in a little truck stealing the crystal out of somebody's mittens. Do you think we can do the same thing in an aircraft? Now, if Ruddy could go at it, you can probably fail miserably looking at this. Pick it up. Ah, the thing came up. I have faith. Ha ha ha! I did it! You've heard of highway robbery? Well, this is airway robbery! I think. Right, anyway, let's carry on with life, shall we? Let's pop these in here. Boop. Marvellous. I think that will tie us off. We're going far too long, but it doesn't matter. I've given up on trying to make these episodes an hour and a half. If we're going to stick 2 levels in, it's never going to work. So let's get the hell on with the rest of our life, shall we? More specifically, the rest of this campaign. Oh, golly. Somebody... Jet has died. Okay. I would like to move my mouse away from that before I click on it by accident. I would like to have a wee talk with the guy in charge of the teleport machine, right? Here's the thing. When you have Jet in a tunnel transport over a bed of lava, and this is just a suggestion, but I think Jet would appreciate it if you took me up on it, How about you beam the person out first, and then you beam the aircraft out, instead of beaming the aircraft out, and then leaving Jet with no chair to sit in, so she falls into the lava and dies? It's only a frickin' suggestion.
Run the gauntlet.
Oh, that's going to be interesting. And a different picture. I feel like that's the picture from Driller now. Is that the picture from Driller now? I don't know why, because many of these pictures are bespoke and never looked this way originally, but I feel like that's the picture from Driller Night. I don't even know what Driller Night is anymore. There it is. Clearly a different picture. Never mind. Yes. Run the Gauntlet. That's going to be an interesting one. I feel like that one's got a lot of scope for the picture being in a weird position. Never mind. I feel like that one's going to have a lot of scope for Baz to do something mischievous with. Would you be ashamed of me if I said I've had enough lava for one day?
We have located a cave that is rich with energy crystal seams and ore deposits. Unfortunately, the cave is too small for large drilling vehicles and hard rock is blocking our progress. Positioning our buildings will be critical as there is hardly any floor space. Once you have established the Rock Raiders HQ, train a Rock Raider to dynamite and collect 20 energy crystals.
Right. This is an utterly inane point that nobody needed to hear, but am I the only person that thinks that when the Chief reads out this line as there is hardly any floor space, that it sounds a tiny bit Italian, or at least stereotypical Italian, because it sounds like he's sticking an A in front of the word hardly. Never mind, I'm not ready, but let's get on with it. Oh, yes, sorry. I forgot what button I'm supposed to press again, because I'm a muppet. I'm actually going to get rid of you guys. Forgive me, forgive my vicious ways! But I need people that actually know what the hell it is that they're doing. Because goodness only knows that I don't know what I'm doing. Because I was supposed to take a break between the levels in order to let my voice rest. And I forgot. And now I really miss the cup of cocoa that I would make in this little intermission. Never mind, we're just going to have to get on with it. At least it will make editing this video more expeditious. And there's no slimy sluggles just yet. And every single time I say that, I cannot help but wonder if that is a euphemism for the anus of these same creatures. Probably yes. Right, should we have a look on the map and see what's different? Thus far, nothing, but that doesn't wholly surprise me. Can I turn off the frustrum? It's an amusing word to say, a frustrum. Frustrum. An excellent word. Sort of random words that singing teachers make you say in order to improve your articulation. Right, let's clear out a few of these bits and pieces, and then we can start putting down a few buildings, I reckon, because we can upgrade this now. So I am thinking that this land is not going to be flat enough. No, not by a long shot. That bit might be, or it might not be. I'm not utterly convinced, but as soon as that's done, I'll get you to clear. In order to get it done faster, I'll get you both to click. Thank you. Right, that's much better. Right, yeah, because I have a horrid feeling that that little bit there might not be flat enough. So, Gideon, such a scary little face. Gideon. Let me. Yeah, my plan is to put the power station there because I'm convinced that piece isn't going to work. But I'm not convinced this will work either, but we'll stick it in and see what happens, which is really bad sex ed advice, but we won't worry about none of that. I'm also thinking we clearly should have put a piece of power bar there and then put the power station there. Never mind. I suppose we could put a piece of power path there and then put a building there, but that would look really freaking naff, if you'll pardon my language. Right, let's upgrade that and see if we can put a power station here. I highly doubt that we can, but we'll try anyway. Hooray! It worked, which I must say shocks the living hell out of me, but never mind. Okay. I think this space is going to turn into some form of limbo, because I reckon it's going to be just ever so slightly knobbly-bobbly in order to really be useful for anything. But this level's going to be interesting, actually, because most of this map was used in the original formation of the level, as I recall. Obviously, we were only able to really explore that in Manic Miners, because that was the only way to get past the crystal requirement. But, yes, most of this map, as I recall, was used. So it's going to be interesting to see what Baz does with it. I imagine that the slugs will be a fact, not a myth, in this level. And I wouldn't be surprised if the two spots sort of roundabout ear and roundabout ear that were chock-a-block full of crystals, I wouldn't be surprised if those have moved somewhere else, or have been sort of lessened and the crystals more evenly distributed. How many crystals was I after again? Objectives. 100 crystals! Same as before. That makes sense. It's on the same latitude of the scrolly thing. I don't really know what you'd call it. Probably not a scrolly thing, but I've decided that that is what we're going to christen it, and if you have a problem with that, I'll, I don't know, chuck some christening water at you. Is christening water and holy water the same thing? I have no idea. Doesn't really matter anyway. Just like everything else I've ever said. I'd like to get some more buildings, but I feel like we're going to end up being a bit short on crystals if I do that. I should probably get a super to teleport as well. If I had enough ore, which I don't, I'm thinking about it, I should use the ore in order to upgrade this so that we can get dynamite. Otherwise, we're going to end up in a little bit of a pickle. But never mind. In the meantime, I will sit here nervously. I've also just realised this level had monsters as well in it, didn't it? Yes. My syntax has gone to blazes, but never mind. Could you go and get a gun as well, please? I'm not too busy in order to get armed to the teeth, I sincerely hope. Yes. This level had monsters in it? Am I dreaming? Am I dreaming that fact? I have a funny feeling I might be dreaming that fact, and maybe this level never had any monsters in it. Maybe it had monsters in it. It doesn't matter. If it's got slugs in it, it needs guns in it. That's the end of the discussion. What we should probably do, actually, is build a laser turret. By which I mean a mining laser, which I'll give it a military promotion, it seems. So it's been enlisted. Let's upgrade that. I should probably get a bigger pair of balls in order to deal with this. I should probably get a laser thing. Yes, a laser thing would come in mightily handy. Where can I pop this? I can pop it there. That's better than I expected. Mind you, if I got rid of this piece of power path, I could then pop it here, and that would be a little bit more space efficient. So, yes. Bend with the knees, which is actually impossible for a Lego character, but that's not the point. Sorry, just feeling nervous. Let's bring down some more people, so then I won't feel quite so scared. Yes, I feel like we should have a good turret here. Where should I put my turret? Put it here for no particular good reason, just to waste a bit more space. At least we can put the upgrade station there if we choose to do so at a later date. For the time being, I think we need to press all the wrong buttons. Yes, let's also pop a plan to put that in there. Not that we'll be able to get very far with it, because we need to get more ore and that sort of thing. Set that to blow as well. We should also get some more people to have guns. I'm not really sure who doesn't have a gun at the moment. Probably you don't have a gun. You definitely won't have a gun. You won't have a gun. Docs won't have a gun if I can find him. There he is. I'm really stretching my brain to figure out who the last 5 are. It's Docs, it's Bandit, it's Bow. Bollocks. Right. It's off to war we go. Oh, look at that. The little exclamation mark is actually made out of Lego. That is a very nice touch. I don't know if that is a recent addition or not, but I think it's a cute one. Right. That didn't go too disastrously. Let's reinforce that and clear that, and... You know, it strikes me that if we open up both sides of this cavern, we're going to end up in a real pickle. A massive pickle, in fact, because we're all going to be over here, getting our brains bashed in, and then a slug is going to spawn over here, and then we're all going to run back in order to sort the situation out, but by that time they're going to come over here and suck a load of crystals. Which is going to be a problem. A big problem. But never mind. Let's reinforce that so that we can forget about that. Let's send the brain damage brethren off to have some sandwiches. And I think we should break our way through here, because if we can find that group of crystals, that will at least give us the opportunity to get all of the various buildings and things that we need and want. So if you don't do that, yes, please don't say that. No, I was just wondering if the power path button was there, and I was just thinking about the suggestions people made about being able to block over these owls. That'd be bully, wouldn't it? So this will give us a little bit more ore, and they're prioritising the construction of this at the moment, because that was put down first, even though constructing that would be more useful, but we can't really blame them for my own stupidity. Okay, this is also hard rock, isn't it? Yep. And you won't, if you use your little feet. Right, let's get all of that reinforced, and then if we break... Yeah, if we break one of these side pieces, we should be able to get through a little bit quicker, I reckon. Right. Yes, I think it's somewhere down here. It's like, it's along here and then up along like a little snaking path that sort of goes along like that, as I recall. Let's bust our way through here. Oh, goodness! A pair of them! Engage in a great volume of violence. I really, really don't trust you with a gun, mate. I mean, I have to, because all of our crystals depend on it, but at the same time, I'm not exactly chuffed by the concept of an interstellar villain having a gun. Although if we can command a spaceship and go to the planet of... What was the planet in Lego Island 2 called? I feel like it was Lego spelt backwards. Except my slightly illiterate brain isn't entirely sure how that would be pronounced without being able to see it written down. So, I'm going to worry that I'd say it wrong if I said it at all. So you'll pardon me if I shut up. Yeah, I reckon if we go through here... Yeah, we'll go through here. Sort of go in this direction and try to find the crystals that should be nestled about here, I reckon, and then that will allow us to get down various vehicles, and we can sort of industrialise what we're doing, and we can get the hell on with life a little bit more expeditiously. If people are standing around with nothing better to do, they might as well go off and reinforce those walls so there aren't pieces of rubble there in the way. Okay, is that all the ore that we need? Because at least then that would give us a line of defence, if nothing else. Yes, indeed. Good. We could turn that off as well. So, what sort of vehicle would I like? Granite grinder would be good. We don't have enough crystals for it, but a granite grinder would be good. Yeah, even if we turned that off, which I don't really want to do, we wouldn't have enough crystals for it. Right, let's get back to blasting. At least now that we've expanded the realm somewhat, we can do a little bit more blasting at any given moment. We can also blast from the other end. I feel like that would be frightfully inefficient and a massive waste of time, but we could blast from the other end at the same time, and it might speed things up a tad. Okay, one crystal. Well, it's a step in the right direction, if admittedly a rather slow step. But never mind. I suppose all steps count, even if they're little tiny dinky ones. Just out of curiosity, can I... From where? From nowhere that really matters? Yes. Would you two stop doing that? Would you two stop doing that? Because frankly, it looks like the one behind is doing something to the one in front that ain't entirely broadcastable. But never mind. Let's stop it, because this isn't some sort of David Attenborough program. They're not gonna stop, are they? No, they're not like monsters that are just gonna get bored eventually. Alright, what I reckon we'll do is we'll just give them a little bit of time, because there's no point in disturbing folks now. Okay, good, that job is done. That's mostly what I was worried about. But yeah, we'll send them off to war now. And if the slugs poke their bonces round, I might shoot them in the face a little bit if I can do it in a way that doesn't endanger everyone else. Shoot! Oh, interesting. They sort of become invincible after they've reached their, what's the word I'm looking for? Retreat threshold? Yes, I'm going to define it as a retreat threshold for no particularly good reason. It would be really, really stupid of me if... Actually, no, it wouldn't be really stupid of me if I revealed some crystals here, because yes, it would take them ages to walk them back, but slugs can't drain crystals that are just sat on the floor. Which I feel like doesn't really make sense from a lore perspective, because these buildings are not natural to the environment of the slug, right? They can't be, right? Presumably. Unless we're going to get into some sort of crazy levels of lore here, there surely cannot be buildings like this in the slug's natural habitat, right? So they must have a different way of feeding. That is just eating crystals, or draining crystals rather, that are laying on the ground. And we know that they can do that because we see that in the cutscenes, right? We know that they can just drain crystals that are sat on the floor. So either it was decided that they wouldn't be able to drain crystals that are just sat on the floor because that would make the game too difficult, or because they didn't, that is the original design team, didn't really want the sort of gameplay mechanics to work that way. So, yes. Perhaps there could be a sort of an interesting thing to do for, like, I don't know, like an extra setting that could be added in so that custom levels could be made more difficult, perhaps, if slugs were able to drain crystals that were sat on the floor. Because, thinking about it... So I'm just thinking back to basics. Thinking back to basics. Yes, excellent English, Phil. Yeah, if a monster spawned out of here, I'd be screwed. Where's that slug? Nowhere that important. If I could get this ruddy thing to work. Yes, very slimy. Both physically and in terms of his character. Yeah, you could walk all the way home and get a piece of dynamite, or you could pick up a crystal and then walk all the way home, and then pick up a piece of dynamite for a latter piece of wall that I need blown up. But never mind, just call me Mr. Efficiency. What was I yammering on about? I don't know. Oh, don't know. But no, I was thinking back to back to basics, and I did the terrible grammar again, didn't I? Oh dear. I was throwing my thoughts in the ancient direction of back to basics and coming up with old-fashioned strategies in order to win that level. Ouch. And yeah, like you tiny, adorable lunatic. Speaking of tiny, adorable lunatics, the cat's been suspiciously quiet for the past hour. You are still alive, aren't you? Yes, there you are. Hello. More, I see. Excellent. Good. I'm glad about that. I was just thinking to myself when I got home from work this evening, gee whiz, I really hope my cat has given me an excuse to hoover the carpet. What was I talking about? Back to basics. Yes. Allow me to get back to my random-ass tangent about back to basics. There were various strategies for getting through back to basics in terms of having crystals but not storing them, because once you stored more and more crystals you were surpassed a threshold whereby the slugs started to spawn in droves. So it was important to be able to have crystals but not trigger the slugs, so that you could collect as many as possible and then just sort of dump them all into your store as quickly as possible in order to get up to the 45 necessary, so that you could pass the... You know what, I might just, yeah, you can, it's alright. It's alright, Sparks, you can just run. You can literally just run. I shan't be ashamed of you. Yeah, so one of a common strategy was to bring down loads of vehicles, like loads of little transport trucks, for example, and just sort of spawn them and then sit them in front of your power station, so that at the end you could beam them all up. Yeah, I'm bringing out the cavalry! Or the firing squad, my giddy aunt. Are they both sat directly on top of each other, or is the other one spawned somewhere else? He spawned over here. Well, you've started, so you may as well finish, I suppose. Let's see if we can't get ourselves a half-decent thumbnail. That will do, yes. A conga line and a creature. Excellent. And oh my giddy aunt, that's slightly bizarre. Dox's face forcing his way through mine is a slightly worrisome image. Yes, in terms of a different strategy I suppose you could use would just be to leave the crystal sat on the floor and then turn off energy crystal collecting as a priority. That way the crystals would just sit there on the floor. I suppose that would leave them open to the danger of the monsters, but if you arranged your what's the word? Electric fence, that's the word I'm looking for. I wanted to call it power path then, but that's the wrong thing. Yes, if you arranged your electric fence appropriately so that all of the monsters spawned out of that back wall, and then I'm not convinced there was a cavern back here. In olden days, when knights were bold and stories told and all that rubbish. Putting crystals down and leaving them on the floor would leave them open to monsters, but if you arranged your electric fence, you'd probably be safe from that, and it would be easier to utilise that strategy now for two reasons. One, well, actually no, it would be easier to do it for one reason, and that is that you can just take over direct control of somebody and then pick up and drop crystals, which of course you couldn't do in the original version. You sort of drill walls and things that you weren't able to do many of the other interactions, like clearing rubble or picking up resources or things like that. Mind you could then get a truck and then you could do that, so I suppose it wouldn't be that difficult if you really put your mind to it, like most things in life. I was going to say the other reason that would be easier is, of course, that you can bring down a lot of vehicles all at once without the game crashing quite so much. That is assuming, of course, that you've got a decent enough computer, and it doesn't. I wouldn't imagine, at least, it takes a frightfully advanced computer in order to run this. But I wouldn't really know. I don't really know what I'm doing with computers, despite the fact that I am supposed to. But never mind. No, I really should if I do follow up with my plan of upgrading this PC in order to address various frame rate issues and editing problems. But that's a story for t'other day, or t'other month, more specifically, judging by how things are looking at the moment. This is taking a heck of a long time, longer than I expected. What does this look like? Different. 95% sure this wasn't here before. Hi, Gideon. I really must go back and replay the original game because it's a bit criminal at the moment as to why how little of it I can actually remember. I'm so spoiled by this game. I can't remember what the bloody hell I'm doing half the time. What should we do? What should we do? What should we do with the drunken sailor? What should we do with the drunken sailor? Blah 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 blah, etc. 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 You get the idea. I should have remembered to build an upgrade station. That's what I should have remembered to do. Yeah, at least this will allow us to move the drinking vehicle. That's what I needed. But brine. There won't be any lava. There won't be any lava. Touch wood. I don't know, it is wood anyway. I think that's faux wood, so I don't actually know if I do have any real wood in here. I don't know. I don't know. I go outside and tap a tree if you prefer. Well, this is an officially little situation we've got going on here. Oh dear, this is a bit of a pickle, isn't it? Yes, if we pop all of this stuff in here, then we'll be able to, yeah, there we go. We'll be able to upgrade. Let's upgrade this first, because this is at least what's going to be in sight. Yeah, actually, let's just upgrade it with them. Although we're not going to. We're going to be 4 ore short. There's something vaguely amusing to say with your face. Yes. Never mind. At least he'll be able to bring the crystals home that much more quickly. So, yes. I got slightly suspicious by the fact that there were no energy crystal seams here, but I've just remembered that the crystal deposits in this level are not in seams. They're just in standard rocks that drop a load of crystals out of them. Much like in Back to Basics, where you have those sort of little strips of rock, each of which drop 5 crystals, as I recall. Again, another part of one of those levels that you can only really discover in the in Manic Miners, rather than in the original game itself, due to the simple constraints of the level. Why did all the music go away for a moment there? That was rather worrying. The other one's over here, isn't he? Yes, that's interesting. They seem to prefer spawning out of different holes if they can. Interesting. Interesting. Because previously we had 2 that spawned out of the same hole at the same time. But then once we revealed another hole further away, they never did that. Or at least they haven't done it thus far. This is... There's supposed to be... There's supposed to be a heck of a heap of crystals here, and there ain't! I have a funny feeling that Baz has taken me up on my advice. About 15 years before I made it. And, has moved the deposits. But never mind. Perhaps he listened to those adverts about switching your banking provider. I wouldn't know. Right. If I'm not careful, what I'm going to do is correct this poor creature's eyesight. Okay, let me break through here, because if there's nothing in here, then it's definitely moved. Yep, it's moved. Great. We need way more crystals than we normally do. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Let's get another little truck. No, giddy up. And send this one off to get up. I did not say send him up to get some sort of brain implant that means I can take control of his body like some sort of drone. That's not what I meant in the slightest. All I wanted was to send him off to get an upgrade. Right, let's pop you to get a bigger engine. Stick some jet engines on the side because that's how the world works. That's why you see Lamborghinis and Ferraris flying down over jet engines strapped to their side. The trouble with jet engines is presumably they generate a lot of lift, and as I understand it, supercars try to generate the exact opposite of that. This is a pickle. None of these places go anywhere. There does seem to be a seam in this direction. So let's go over here and see what we can find. We're going to have to drill through some of this in order to protect ourselves from the landslides. But other than that, we should be alright. You're not going off to get all the ore because there are already other people doing it, aren't there? And we don't have quite enough crystals for this. I could turn that off and then click on the wrong button because that would be cute. And then I will find somebody to sit in this thing, like you.
If my radar is correct.
If your radar is correct, what? I feel like that sentence requires finishing, like the job I gave you. You muppet, honestly. Right, shoot you in the face. Try to shoot you in the belly this time. There we are. All the previous crystals you've eaten sink out. Yeah, let me upgrade you as well. That way you can just sort of clear some of the rubble and that will just keep people busy. And we'll free up some of... This isn't a recharge sim, is it? No, it's not. Thank goodness. I was getting a bit worried that I was getting everyone's hopes up over nothing then. Right. That's not many crystals at all. Also, I'm confused by something. Hang on a minute. Hang on a second. How can that say 4? Because there's 2 in there, there's 3 in there, there's 3 in there, there's 3 in there, and there's 2 in there. Now, I can't count that quickly, but that's more than 4. The 33, that would include all of the total crystals, including vehicles and power. Yes. So what's that then? collected crystals, the amount of crystals. Oh, I see. So that's just how many I have stored. So that's how many I have stored and readily available. That's how many I have stored, also including ones that are being used to power buildings. Right. That makes more sense. Yes, I think, possibly. I'm not entirely sure. Never mind. I thought that used to include how many buildings you had, or ones that were in buildings, but clearly it doesn't. That's clearly what the total crystals is there for. Instead, and I'm just being stupid. Dare I say it again, but that shouldn't really surprise any of you. Okay. I'm not entirely sure how we should proceed from this point, because we're in a little tiny bit of a pickle. I mean, we are a third of our way to our goal, which is good, and I am glad that this level is, if it's, well, I mean, I don't think this was here before, so I think it is expanding the map and using more of the map for various different bits and bobs than the original specification, shall we say, of this level. But yes, Baz is clearly doing a little bit more with this level in the sense of putting crystals in different places versus in the last one, where I feel like most of the crystals were roughly in the same place, except because there were more of them because the total required crystal number was greater. Let me oh goodness, a bit of water. Good afternoon, sir. Or quite possibly madam, or maybe neither, I don't know. Perhaps I shouldn't even assume that this species has gender. That's probably something you get shot for these days. Speaking of shooting people. Right, sorry. Okay, let's break our way through here. You know, it's just lovely to see rock on the map that isn't hard rock. I do feel like once you get past the first few levels, you just never see this sort of rock anymore. But never mind. They're only little bits of code in a video game, and they still make my skin crawl. There's a few crystals here. There's not a boatload, but there's a few. My mouse sensitivity is just taking me a little while to get used to. Oh! I'm terribly sorry. I completely forgot to update you on the thoroughly boring expedition of me and my broken technology. Right, so you might remember, if you watched one or two of the last videos, that I was complaining about my keyboard, right? I was complaining about the keyboard that I was using, I think probably in the previous Manic video, because some of the keys on the right-hand side of it were broken, right? Like sort of the I and the U and the O, that sort of department of keys were broken. I was pressing them and nothing was happening. Clearly not many games use those sort of keys, but it was very irritating if I was trying to type anything, because of course I don't have all of those various vowels. But, yes, so in the previous video, I replaced, or before the previous video, the one on Of Love and Eternity, I replaced the keyboard. And this keyboard is better because it's a bit quieter, which is marvellous, and all the keys work, which is lovely. It's also easier to clean, which is bully. But seems to have this random problem. If I hold the W key long enough, it stops registering that I'm holding it down for a moment, which of course is irritating if you're just trying to walk forward in a game, which I've been discovering whilst playing little bits and pieces in my spare time. But anyway, that's the story thus far. Right, this is the so far on Star Trek: The Next Generation. Now, in this instalment of the series, I wish to tell you the thoroughly uninteresting fact that I bought a new mouse. But it's a good thing that I did this. Well, it's irritating that it happened because the mouse just died on me because the cable broke, again, because every mouse I've ever had has died because the cable is broken. So I decided to get a wireless mouse instead, and the only reason I was attracted to this mouse is because it had loads of really negative reviews, and I thought, it's only a mouse. I've been building these things for decades. How under the sun has somebody got them so wrong that this one's being recommended so poorly? And, from where? From there! Interesting. Why? Why not over there? And you've also shot my theory in the foot about you two not spawning in the, Sorry, I just want to test my theory about them not... No, right. So just literally walk straight past it. Right. Is that the sort of person that's frightfully hungry but refuses to eat from a food truck, so decides to walk the entire way to the other side of the city in order to reach a restaurant? Oh, well, I should probably actually turn the thing off so people shouldn't die. I'll get round to that in due time. The frame rate's died, hasn't it? Sorry about it. There ain't much I can do about it, I'm afraid. What the hell was I talking about? Oh yeah, people were complaining that this mouse were rating it very low. So I was curious, so I decided to click on it and see what exactly had got everyone so riled about it. Turns out the thing they didn't like was that it doesn't click. It's very quiet. You probably can't even hear that on the microphone, and that's amazing, right? I have been searching for a quiet mouse my entire life. I hate clicky mices. I've always hated the clicks that mice have. I don't know why people like them. It's really, really annoying, right? And I hated it even more when I started making videos because you can constantly hear the clicking on the microphone, which is really irritating. It's exactly the same problem with clicky keys on a keyboard. I just hate being able to hear those noises when I'm working through the video and editing. So when I saw that this one didn't make clicky noises, and everyone was complaining that it didn't make clicky noises, I bought it in a heartbeat, and I'm absolutely chuffed that it doesn't freaking click. It did take me a while to get used to. I didn't realise how accustomed my brain had become to listening to mices go click. I should probably build another defense turret, just in case anybody attacks from the other direction, because otherwise my field of shooting is going to be a bit restricted here. Actually, I might put it there to further de-restrict my field of shooting. But yes, when I first started using this mouse, I found it bizarre. I feel like I pressed it, so like I knew from the motions of my hand that I'd clicked on something, but my brain wasn't convinced I clicked on anything because I hadn't had a click. So it took me a while to sort of detrain my brain in that way, which did throw me off for a little while, but I've got used to it now, and I'm utterly chuffed. So I hope you are frightfully pleased by hearing this thoroughly boring instalment of what the hell it is I'm yammering on about. Where's the other one come from? I've got no... Oh, no idea! That's better. I had better build another defensive turret, just on the off chance that a slug spawns and attacks from this direction, and then promptly forgets that that's a thing that can happen. It really is a wonder I've reached the age I have without, like walking off a cliff or something. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. It really is a wonder I managed to survive this long. Okay, there's clearly another place that we could get through here, but I doubt we're going to be able to just break through in the standard manner. So I'll carry on drilling through here, because this is where the second depository, if that's a word, and I don't think it is. Giddy aunt, I haven't even had my supper yet, and I've already got the hiccups. So we're going to need to work our way through here instead, which is going to put a little bit of a pin in the bottom to reach. I say that we do this the simple way rather than the hard way. So let me pop a person in here and upgrade it so that it's... Actually, it doesn't need to have a drill on it. It might as well, though. It might as well. Speaking of restaurants, it's like when you're at restaurants and you just stick extra stuff on the side of your plate because you can, not because you really want the bloody thing they're offering you. Which I'm sure is some sort of lesson I was supposed to learn when I was studying behavioural economics, and I simply didn't. There's not going to be any crystals here either. Not going to be any crystals here either. Okay. That's somehow worse. Because that has taken redesigning the priorities of the level and has just turned it into teasing. So you'll forgive me if I'm a little peeved by that. Let me shoot this one in the face. There we go. And then we'll give him an opportunity to come round in all due course. Set you to drill out a little bit more. In the meantime, I'm going to see if it's possible for me to activate both of these at the same time, if everyone would get out of the ruddy way long enough. Oh, I thought they said... Oh, because I haven't selected them both. Oh dear. Oops. Ah, perfect. That's very efficient, actually. That sorts my problem right out. Where's the other slug? Oh, there's the other slug. Right. This is a problem. I shall shoot you in your tail. That's better. Wrong button. Sorry, force of habit. What was I blabbering on about? Nothing important. Yes, I just want to try activating both of these lasers at the same time. I think what they said is you have to activate both and then press X. Yes, here we go. And then you can sort of double shoot. Boom, boom. Akimbo, etc. Blah, blah, blah. How the hell do I manage this camera again? I don't know. I use another program quite frequently now, which involves a similar method of moving around to look at things, but slightly different controls, and it throws me off. Sorry about that. This also hasn't helped, because it hasn't helped me get into the place that I want to get into. No, it has helped me get into the place that I want to get into, because this was the undiscovered cavern that I was looking at, but it's not the one that I want to be in, because it's not the one that has the seams in, because I've just realised I haven't even seen any more seams. At least not useful ones, because let's be honest, why would you wander all the way over there when you could just use the one right here? Never mind. At least we've figured out how to use multiple lasers at the same time, which in this context of having them diametrically opposing ends of the base doesn't really help, but you could put two turrets literally right next to each other and then control them simultaneously, and that would be very useful in terms of doubling up the amount of damage you can do in a single shot to irritating enemies like lava monsters or indeed slugs. From where? From there. Right. Well, that's perfectly all right. They can wait their turn as far as I'm concerned. Dear oh dear. How many crystals are we up to? 75. Man alive. Not very many at all. 20 minutes already. My giddy out. I must say my voice is doing better than usual. The disadvantage of doing these videos so far apart these days is that my voice isn't quite so used to the long slog, not like the days when I used to record for several hours in a row without so much as a tickle in the throat. Never mind, those days are long since past, like the days when I didn't need to have an afternoon nap and would stop myself falling asleep in the middle of my work, but that's not the ruddy point. I'm just aging and I'm irritated about it, so please forgive me while I sit here and feel grumpy. What have we got in this direction? I have a vague recollection of there being a little river in this direction. I think if you break through there's a little river. But I think if we break through here, we'll access the more accessible part, if that isn't an oxymoron to say. Because surely, if we're accessing it, it must be accessible, but that's not the point. That's not the point. I don't know how to articulate my thoughts and I feel trapped within my brain! Yes, here we are. There's the water I was talking about, or at least some of it. So isn't that just marvellous? Let's break our way through here. I won't worry about drilling out every single piece. Under normal circumstances, and by normal circumstances I mean if I had all the time in the world, and goodness knows that I don't, then I would drill out everything and strip mine this place to the very bones of the earth. But for the sake of your time and my voice, I'm not going to do that. So, yes, if we break through here, this won't get us... Well, it will get us quite far, but it won't really get us in the direction that I want to go. Yes, I'll get to all of that in just a wee minute. Yep, that didn't really tell me as much as I wanted it to, but at least those two are quite far away, so I'm not overly fussed. Let's break you through here. In the meantime, let's get that cleared and that reinforced, just so it doesn't fall in anyone's brain. Where are the sluggos? There are sluggos. Where will this take me? Somewhat interesting. Good. Let me deal with the sluggos, who gladly are not being as much of a pain in the bum as I thought. Although I suppose, is it possible when you're setting up the level in order to sort of define how much enemies spawn? Because I know you've got the sliders, but you do not mean the tiny burgers, nor do I mean the shoes. Of course, you got things like this in terms of how quickly things can spawn. Where's the ready back button? That one probably. Yes. So of course, anybody can make a level as dangerous or as safe as they like by changing the sliders. But Would it be possible to make more slugs or monsters spawn when you're sort of setting up the level, if you wanted to make it more difficult, in terms of... Well, I suppose you could put down, like, more spawners, I suppose, if that's, There's going to be, like, 50 crystals inside, aren't there? I know there are. Luckily, I've still got my flying machine. And that will allow me to find out with minimal investment. Although, if there is a load of stuff in there, we're going to have to get a tunnel transport in order to get any of it home again. But, oh, 3 of them. Where? There. Interesting. Which way do you think they're going to go? Probably that way. I imagine that's going to be the shortest way. Which way? A few. Not as many as I thought, but a few. Alright. I have a bad feeling that this laser isn't going to be able to manage on its own, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do my best all the same. I'd rather wish there was like a first-person perspective where you could actually sit in the laser and do a bit of shooting. I feel like that would be sort of cute, but never mind. Let me attempt to see how far I can get with murdering these muppets before they start sucking at me tootsies. That isn't creepy. There we are. It is, but we won't worry about any of that. Yes, a nice few crystals. Not quite as many as I would like, but I will live with the quantity I've been supplied with. So allow me to bring down my level of intellect. Although saying that would be rather difficult for me to do that, but I will try all the same, because I'd like to see if it is physically possible to be any more stupid than I already am. Let me beam this up, because I don't reckon we'll need it anymore. And then Jet can come over here and get all of these various crystals. That'll be very useful, and then we'll see what else we've got in this direction, because these 2 sections must join up at some point. And I'd be surprised if Baz leaves the rest of this unutilized. I feel like that doesn't quite fit the modus operandi. So let's see what we can find through here. Some water. Good. That's going to get in the way. Actually, no, it's not, because you don't have to drill anything here, so that's good. Oh my Gideon, I can't get 5 seconds of work done, can I? Right, let's do a tad more shooting. Oh, this is just the one. Where's the other one then? There. Right, that's all right. Don't need to worry about him for 5 minutes. Let's go this way. So we've currently got 61 crystals stored. There's 18 sat on the floor, which is... would you stop changing the numbers? Or you have made the numbers easy to add, however, which I think comes to 80, which is nice. So if we beamed up a few vehicles, we could get to 100. So we'll just have to wait and see exactly how far we can get. I don't think we're going to find very many more here, because the crystals have been much more spread out. Which I do like. I feel like if Baz was going to make these levels interesting without completely redesigning them from the ground up and sort of entirely changing the layout, then I feel like the most intelligent thing to do would be to study the original level carefully, see what the optimal strategy for winning the level is, and then find a way to completely reverse engineer that so that that is the worst possible thing to do. So that a veteran player, who is probably the person who's more likely to want more of the game and download and install the mod and so forth, which all those years ago when BazMod came out, I think it came out in 2009 if I remember reading the wiki correctly. Yeah, of course, you know, downloading mods and stuff is all the easier today, but when the internet was what it was back in 2009, I imagine that mods and whatnot were a little bit more involved, and you had to have a little bit more knowledge about what you were doing, and obviously all the information of how to do that isn't quite so, or wasn't, I should say, quite so freely available as it is today. Where's my other friend? And by other friend, I mean villainous, slimy enemy. Idiot. Surprisingly gormless looking creatures, aren't they? I'm not sure the expression I pulled while looking at him was much different. Right, sorry. Sorry, Bandit. I may just shoot you in the face a little bit here by accident. I suppose. Yeah, we'll just wait for those last few crystals to come in. Good. I reckon that should be about it, since we're coming up on an hour and a half, so that seems like a decent enough place to leave it. But yes, yeah, obviously the optimal strategy in the original formulation of this level was to come here and or go here in order to get the big stock of crystals immediately and collect up as many of them as you could in order to get the mission quota filled up as quickly as possible, versus in this version it's obviously completely the wrong thing to do, because there's nigh on no crystals there. There were like 2 or 3 over here, which is more generous than Baz was over here, but doesn't really surprise me. I can't get 5 minutes apiece with you kids, can I? Right, I feel like I'm going to shoot the tunnel transport in the butt if I'm not careful. But actually, I'm going to run a little test. What happens to the slug? Does he turn around when he realises there's no buildings? Or will the mission end before we can find that out?
Your planning skills are very good.
No, I don't think we're going to find out.
All 20 energy crystals. Outstanding.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm curious to know what would happen if you just beamed up all. If a slug spawned and then you beamed up all your buildings, and thus they had nothing to feed on, would they just leave, or would they just stand around? I don't know. That's like an interesting thing that would be worth testing. However, I have no time to do that. But yes, that went all right.
Search and rescue.
Oh yes, that mission I completely forgot about because it was supposed to happen so much earlier, but never mind, I didn't realise Baz would change the order of these so much. Right, next time we'll probably do...
Your own works.
Indeed, and then either...
Run the gauntlet.
Or...
Search and rescue.
Search and rescue will be an interesting one, because I think if there was any level that people looked upon and thought, I wish there was more functionality in the game in order to allow me to take advantage of the opportunity that's in front of me, which I'm not able to take advantage of, I feel like it would be search and rescue with all of those energy crystal seams along the edge of the river, which of course now there's any number of methods of dealing with that, in terms of the drill on the front of the tunnel scout and the drill on the front of the rapid rider and the tunnel transport for collecting them up and all sorts of other things, and the improved functionality of lasers and whatnot and such like as that. Then of course there's many different ways to do that, but I feel like search and rescue was probably the... If any level was going to make people wish there was more in the original game than there was, I feel like it would have been search and rescue. So that'll be interesting to see what Baz chooses to do with it. But for the time being, I think that is that's enough of that. How many more levels have we got to do? Let's see if I can do a little bit of mathematics without running to a calculator. I think there's 16. Yes, I have to take away my A level in mathematics, but I think 33 minus 17 is 16, and at two levels ago, which it won't be because that will be a single video and that will be a single video, and one or two of these will probably end up being a single video, I wouldn't be surprised. Then we're only looking at another 9 or 10 months in order to get through this campaign, which is slightly insane, but it does take me that long in order to think up new things to say and so on and such like, and I don't even want to think about how long it would take me to get through this, but we shan't worry about this. I am very interested to see what this would be like though, because I don't know if I've discussed this before, but I have played this. I have played this in my own time because I wanted to get a better idea of what the remaster campaign was like, and Driller Knight gave me a good indication of that. I won't describe anything that's in it in case you haven't seen it, or in case we come to do it at a different point in our lives, but or more specifically the life of me and the channel. But yes, I was quite impressed by what I saw there, which gave me greater enthusiasm and greater motivation to do videos on the remaster campaign one day. But obviously we've Bazmob to get through first, and as I've said, that will take a hefty bit of time, so we can deal with the debate over the remaster campaign when the day arrives. which, thinking about it, could quite possibly be 2026 now that I think about it, which is a little bit worrisome. But never mind, at least it's nice to know that we've got plenty to keep us busy for the rest of our lives. But it doesn't matter. I've rambled on for far too long, and I didn't have time to have my cocoa, so my voice is feeling a little bit sore. So I'm off to have some hot milk, and then probably lie down on the sofa and fall asleep, because, yes, I'm decrepit at this point in my life. But never mind. Thank you very much for joining me this evening, ladies and gentlemen. I apologise for talking the hind leg of a donkey for the last 90 minutes, 95 minutes almost, but never mind. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much for joining me this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Look after each other, and good night.